Classification of personality disorder. Look at this picture. In DSM-4, personality disorder are coded on axis 2 and have been divided into 3 clusters. 1. Cluster A, odd and eccentric. 2. Cluster B, dramatic, emotional, erratic. Cluster C, anxious and fearful. Detail going on. 1. Cluster A, odd and eccentric. A. Paranoid personality disorder. B. Schizoid personality disorder. C. Schizotypal personality disorder. Second cluster B, dramatic, emotional, erratic. A. Antisocial personality disorder. B. Histrionic personality disorder. C. Narcissistic personality disorder. D. Borderline personality disorder. Cluster C, anxious and fearful, including A. Avoidant personality disorder. B. Dependent personality disorder. C. Obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Cluster A, explanation going on. A. Paranoid personality disorder is more prevalent in male than females. This disorder is marked by a distrust of other people and a constant, unwarranted suspicion that others have sinister motive. Person with this disorder search for hidden meanings and hostile intention in everything others say or do. Signs and symptoms: suspicious, mistrustful, argumentative, stubborn, self-importance, hypersensitivity, jealous and irritable. B. Schizoid personality disorder is characterized by detachment and social withdrawal. People with this disorder are commonly described as loners with solitary interest and occupations and no close friends. Typically, they maintain a social distance even from family members and seem unconcerned about others. Signs and symptoms: emotionally cold, humorless, aloof, introspective, no desire for enjoyment of close relationship, inability to experience pleasure. C. Schizotypal disorder. This disorder is marked by odd thinking and behavior, pervasive pattern of social and interpersonal deficits, and acute discomfort with others. Cluster B, traumatic emotional erratic. A, antisocial personality disorder, is characterized by chronic antisocial behavior that violates other rights or social norms, with predisposes affected person to the criminal behavior. The person is unable to maintain the consistent, responsible functioning at work, schools, or as a parent. Signs and symptoms: failure to sustain the relationship, impulsive actions, low tolerance to frustration, tendency to cause violence, lack of guilt, inability to maintain close personal or sexual relationship. B. Histrionic personality disorder. Patient with this disorder is characteristically have a pervasive pattern of excessive emotionality and attention-seeking behavior, and are drawn to momentary excitement and fleeting adventure. This disorder is most common in female. People with this disorder need to be the center of attention at all time. Signs and symptoms: dramatic emotionality, emotional blackmail, angry senses, demonstrative suicide attempts, attention seeking behavior, lack of consideration for other, self traumatization, observed and lacking in empathy for others. He typically takes advantage of people to achieve his own ends and uses them without regards to their feelings. C. Narcissistic personality disorder. Patient with this disorder is self-centered. Signs and symptoms: attention seeking, dramatic behavior, unable to face criticism, lack of empathy, then arrogancies. Exploitative behavior. D. Borderline personality disorder is marked by a pattern of instability in interpersonal relationship, mood, behavior, and self-image. Four main categories of signs and symptoms are unstable relationship, unstable self-image, unstable emotions, impulsivity. Other S's includes signs and symptoms, lack of control of anger, recurrent suicidal threats or behavior, uncertainty about personal identity, chronic feeling of emptiness. Three cluster C, anxious, fearful. Three avoidant personality disorder. People with this disorder have low self-esteem, poor self-confidence. They will be negative and have a difficulty in viewing situation and interactions, objectives. Signs and symptoms: fear of disapproval or rejection, unwillingness to become involved with people, shyness, insecurity. The person having this disorder also have other psychiatric disorder like social phobia, anxiety disorder, OCD, depressive disorder, somatoform disorder, etc. B. Dependent personality disorder. This disorder is characterized by a extreme need to be taken care of, which leads to submissive and fear of separation or rejection. People with this disorder let others make important discussion for them and have a strong need for consistent reassurance and support. Signs and symptoms: feeling uncomfortable and have helplessness, inability to make decision, low self-esteem and lack of self-confidence, hypersensitivity. C. Obsessive compulsive personality disorder. The individual places a great deal of pressure on himself and other not to make a mistake. Believes his way of doing something is the only correct way. May force himself and others to follow right moral principles. Signs and symptoms: feeling of excessive doubt and caution, perfectionism, high standards. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.